Many people see strange animals. They report them from all over the world. These creatures have names that we all know. Bigfoot walks the deep forests of North America. Mothman appears before disasters, its large eyes glowing in the dark. The thunderbird is a giant bird, so large its shadow covers the ground. The Dogman is a frightening mix of wolf and man, seen standing on back roads at night. The stories are numerous. They come from people of all ages and backgrounds. The details they share are often strikingly similar. This makes the reports hard to dismiss as simple fantasy or lies. It makes us wonder what is really out there in the dark. And yet, a great question hangs over all these accounts. Where is the physical proof? We should have a body. We should have a skeleton, or at least a clear bone. We should have high-quality photographs that everyone can agree are real. We should have hair or tissue that science can test and confirm as something new to biology. But we do not. The evidence remains elusive. It seems to vanish just as quickly as the creatures themselves. This lack of proof is perhaps the biggest mystery of all. Why do so many people see these things, yet no one can bring one home? This essay will explore several possible reasons for this strange absence of evidence. We will look at simple, natural explanations. The goal is not to prove that these creatures exist or that they do not. The goal is to think carefully about the problem. We will examine the different theories with a fair and open mind. From common animals seen in poor light, to ancient beliefs about spirits that can change their shape, each one offers a different piece of the puzzle. By looking at all of them, we can better understand this enduring mystery. We must start with the idea that not all reports are created equal. Some stories are surely mistakes, others might be deliberate hoaxes, but many come from honest, credible people who seem genuinely shocked by what they saw. They are not looking for fame or money. They are often reluctant to even speak about their experience for fear of ridicule. First, we must look closely at the eyewitness reports themselves. When we collect stories about a specific cryptid like Bigfoot, Mothman, and Dogman, we find amazing patterns. Bigfoot, Mothman, Dogman. Witnesses from different states or even different decades will describe the same things. They mention a very tall, bipedal creature. They describe it covered in dark hair. They often describe a distinct, conical shape to its head. Many report a powerful, foul odor, like rotting garbage or wet dog. They speak of its long arms. They speak of a smooth, powerful stride as it walks. These details repeat again and again. It is hard to believe that so many separate individuals could invent the exact same collection of specific details without some shared source. The same is true for other cryptids. Mothman, a large, winged humanoid figure. The most common feature is a pair of huge, glowing red eyes. Witnesses often say it has no visible head. The eyes are set in its upper chest. They also report a feeling of intense dread or fear during the sighting. With the Dogman, people describe a creature that looks like a very large wolf. Then it stands up on its hind legs and moves like a person. They note its canine-like legs and its human-like hands. The consistency in these descriptions is a powerful form of evidence, even if it is not physical. This repetition of details makes us question simple explanations. If every sighting was just a person mistaking a bear for Bigfoot, why do so many mention the same bad smell? If Mothman is just a large owl, why the consistent reports of glowing red eyes and a feeling of pure terror? These recurring elements suggest that the witnesses are seeing something more than just a common animal in bad lighting. The patterns are too specific and too widespread. They force us to consider that there might be a real, singular phenomenon behind the stories, even if we do not yet understand what that phenomenon is. One of the simplest and most common explanations for cryptid sightings is misidentification. This means a person sees a known animal but mistakes it for something strange. This happens more often than we might think, especially under certain conditions. Most sightings occur at night, at dusk, in dense forests. The light is poor. Shadows can play tricks on our eyes. A familiar shape can look monstrous and frightening when it is only partially seen. Our brains are wired to fill in the missing information, and sometimes our brains get it wrong. Fear can also amplify this effect, making a normal animal seem much larger and more threatening than it really is. For example, a black bear standing on its hind legs can look remarkably like the classic description of Bigfoot. Bears are large, covered in dark fur, and can move surprisingly fast. From a distance or through thick woods, it would be easy to make this mistake. Similarly, a very large owl, like a great horned owl, has a wide wingspan and large reflective eyes. Seen suddenly in headlights, it could be mistaken for a Mothman-like creature. A large heron or a sandhill crane can look very strange and prehistoric in flight. Even a common dog or coyote suffering from mange, a skin disease that causes hair loss, can look terrifying and alien, sparking a Dogman sighting. The environment also plays a huge role in these mistakes. A deer moving through thick brush might only be seen in brief flashes. The brain tries to connect these flashes into a single image, and that image might not be a deer. A log floating in a lake can mimic a serpent. Even man-made objects can cause confusion. A stray weather balloon, a piece of farm equipment seen from a strange angle, an oddly shaped kite. Some cryptid evidence is the result of deliberate hoaxes. People have faked Bigfoot tracks using large, carved wooden feet. They have worn gorilla costumes to create blurry videos in the woods. These hoaxes are often done for fame, money, or simply as a prank to fool people. The history of cryptozoology is filled with famous examples of faked evidence that was later exposed. Each hoax makes it harder for genuine researchers and witnesses to be taken seriously. It casts a shadow of doubt over the entire field of study. However, not all witnesses are pranksters. Many avoid publicity, fearing ridicule from friends, family, and community. Another compelling theory is that cryptids are real flesh and blood animals. But, well, they are extremely rare. They might be a surviving population of a species thought to be extinct, like a type of giant ape in North America. Or, they could be a completely new species that science has not yet discovered. The world is vast, with wilderness areas rarely visited by humans. It is entirely possible for a small population of large animals to remain hidden. Dense forests of the Pacific Northwest, deep swamps of the South. New species are still discovered, though most are insects or deep-sea creatures. If a species is very rare, shy, and intelligent, it would be an expert at avoiding humans. This would explain why sightings are brief and unexpected, just a fleeting glimpse before it disappears. This theory suggests they are not supernatural. They are masters of camouflage and evasion. They live far from our roads and cities and avoid us. In dense, wet forests, decomposition is fast. Scavengers, insects, and bacteria recycle remains quickly. Bones are scattered and broken down. Within weeks or months, nothing might remain to find. Furthermore, if these animals are intelligent, they might even bury their dead. Some higher primates and elephants show grief and ritual-like behavior. If a creature like Bigfoot had similar intelligence, they might not leave their dead out in the open. They might carry them to a hidden cave or bury them in remote places to protect them from scavengers. This behavior would make finding a body almost impossible. The lack of bones is then evidence of rarity, intelligence, and nature's efficiency, not proof of non-existence. Now we move from the world of biology to ideas that are more spiritual or paranormal. Some suggest these beings could be a form of energy, able to take on a physical or semi-physical form. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, it only changes form. If consciousness is a kind of energy, entities might manifest briefly as Bigfoot or Mothman, then dissipate. This aligns with ancient traditions and could explain sudden appearances and the lack of physical evidence. This connects to rich traditions of many Native American cultures. For centuries, these cultures have told stories of beings that change shape. The most well-known is the Skinwalker, a person who, through powerful medicine, transforms into an animal, a wolf, a coyote, an owl. These beings are not simple animals. They are powerful, intelligent, often dangerous, able to cross the physical and spiritual boundary. A modern Dogman report sounds remarkably similar to ancient shapeshifter stories. Respecting these traditions means listening not as folklore, but as a different way of understanding the world. Some things are not meant to be captured and put in a zoo. They are spirits or powerful beings that operate under a different set of rules. They may appear to warn, to guard a sacred place, or for reasons we cannot comprehend. If cryptids are this nature, looking for a physical body is pointless. We would be using biology tools to study something of the spirit. It would be like trying to catch a ghost in a butterfly net. It would also explain oddities like glowing eyes, dread, and electronics failing during encounters. To understand why cryptids remain unproven, we must also understand how science works. Science is a powerful method for understanding the physical world, but it has strict rules. The most important rule is the need for physical, testable, and repeatable evidence. A personal story, no matter how sincere, is an anecdote, not scientific evidence. To prove a new species like Bigfoot, a scientist needs a type specimen. This means a body, a skeleton, or a significant piece that can be studied worldwide. This is the gold standard of proof in biology. Photos and videos can support, but are not definitive. Images are easily manipulated. Originals, metadata, and site verification are required, and even then, blurry is not enough. Strange audio and footprints remain suggestive, not conclusive. High standards prevent mistakes. So far, every Bigfoot hair has tested as bear, deer, human, or other known animals. Every bone has been identified. Until a sample comes back as unknown primate or similar, skepticism remains. We have thousands of witnesses but little physical evidence. Personal experience clashes with the rigorous demands of the scientific method. It is very likely that there is no single, simple answer that explains every cryptid sighting. The truth is probably a complex mixture. It is not a matter of choosing just one explanation. Think of them all contributing to the phenomenon. Some percentage are misidentifications. This happens. Another percentage are hoaxes. This also happens. Some are honest memory errors after frightening experiences. Others are influenced by culture. Once a town is famous, more reports follow. These real factors can explain patterns without a new creature. After accounting for these, a core remains. Credible, multi-witness, good condition reports. These might point to a real, undiscovered animal. A small, elusive population could exist, with rarity and intelligence explaining missing evidence. Finally, leave room for possibilities outside current science. Shapeshifters or interdimensional entities echo ancient beliefs. The truth may be a combination of all these possibilities. So, where does this leave us? We are faced with a fascinating puzzle. On one hand, we have a huge number of sincere, consistent eyewitness reports. On the other, a profound lack of the physical evidence that science demands. We have explored explanations from simple mistakes and hoaxes to rare animals and paranormal entities. No single theory accounts for everything. The answer is a complex mix. The best path is a mind both open and careful. Treat personal accounts with respect. Listen carefully, ask good questions. Encourage careful field research. Gather potential evidence and analyze it with scientific rigor in independent labs. Learn from the wisdom of indigenous traditions. These worldviews may hold clues science misses. The world may be stranger than we allow. Nature keeps secrets. Some truths resist our labs. Keep looking, keep questioning, keep wondering.